Okay, on this video, ladies and gentlemen, let's explore trigonometry, the section application of Pythagoras Theorem. Let me show you how this is done. I'll also show you a problem from the past paper. This is a document I documented myself on specific problems which I find that most of the learners are having a challenge. So I'll explain this question 10. In this case, if sine 27 is equal to a, in terms of a, determine each of the following. You have number a being cos 117 degrees. In this case, you first have to understand the instruction usually says without the use of a calculator. So please bear in mind that's the instruction which is not stipulated on this document. So let's start with question 10. Question 10 is saying if sine 27 degrees is equal to a, let's calculate a, b, and c. Let's start with number a. So we have, in this case, if the sine of 27 is equal to, I'll make it a ratio, so we have a, which is a over 1, and sine, trig ratio sine, is obviously going to be equal to y over r. This simply implies that you have your a being equal to y and your 1 is equal to r. When you draw your Cartesian plane or your cast diagram, we simply know our 27 degrees is an acute angle, meaning it's less than 90. So it should be on the first quadrant. You don't have to struggle when you get that. So I have my value of r, which is the hypotenuse. I have x, which is unknown. I have the value of y. R is equal to 1 according to our equation. Our y is equal to a. This is the y-axis. Please indicate this is the x-axis. And you have, in this case, your angle being equal to 27 degrees. So let's calculate our unknown, which is x. In order to calculate the value of x, we basically have to use Pythagoras theorem. We have x squared plus y squared, which equal to r squared. Therefore, we have x, which we are solving for, plus our y is equal to a, equal to our r is equal to 1. So square, we have x squared plus a squared equal to 1. Therefore, when we solve for x, we have x squared transpose a squared. We have 1 minus a squared. And therefore, let's see. We put the square root of x squared in order to get the value of x. We have x being equal to plus or minus the square root of 1 minus a squared. So therefore, bear in mind, check the quadrant in which your theta or your angle lies. In this case, we have x in the first quadrant, which is a positive x. So you may conclude by saying, therefore, your x is going to be positive square root of 1 minus a squared. Now we have solved for our x in terms of a. That's our x. Now, having calculated your x value, you have all the sides of your triangle. Therefore, you can basically be able to determine your number a. Let's start. So for a, we are asked to calculate the cos of 117. Cos of 117 will be equal to In this case, make use of your calculator to determine using your angles of your Cartesian plane with respect to this one to reduce it to 27, or sometimes even the angle which we haven't calculated here. So let's check in this case. We can basically have our 117 to be equal to 90 basically plus 27. So you have cos of 90 degrees plus 27. This we can use reduction in order to simplify our trigonometric ratio. So therefore we will have cos 90 plus 27 degrees reducing to 90 changes a cos to a sine. If you draw your cos diagram in this case, you have all students take coffee. So 90 plus is basically the second quadrant. Only sine is positive on your second quadrant. Therefore, we will have cos changing to sine due to the 90 degrees. And check the quadrant in which your angles stipulate. So we have only sine being positive in the second quadrant. Therefore, cos is negative on the second quadrant. It means we are going to have negative sine of 27 degrees, which equals to minus sine is basically opposite over hypotenuse, and this is basically going to be equal to our y is equal to a. So we have minus, you say a, your r is equal to 1, so we have 1, which is equal to minus a. Now let's get to do number b. On our number b, we are asked to calculate the cos of 333 degrees. This will be the cos of 333, which is equal to as well the cos of this 333. We can use 360 minus the angle, which is 27 degrees. We have therefore 360 minus is simply the fourth quadrant. We have 360 here, 0 to 360 degrees. We have 90, we have 180, we have 270. So therefore we have this on the fourth quadrant, it's only cos which is positive, therefore we have cos of 27. Therefore cos is the same as x, which is adjacent, over r, which is the hypotenuse. Now in this case we will be having x, our x value is the square root of 1 minus a squared over r, which is basically going to be over 1. Our answer therefore, it will be the square root of 1 minus a squared. This is how simple this section is.